Hello,
Hello, Mar. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I am good.
Yo, sorry, my class before this it lasted a bit longer today. It was long.
Oh, no problem. Okay. Iman is now going to join, so we will start. Okay. Mm, Last class, I explained this question to Iman, but I will explain this to you at the end of the class because it's somehow related to what we're going to learn today. So once I teach you, it will be easier. So we will come back to this at the end. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. First thing. Today, the first thing we're going to look at is identifying. Sorry, one second. Okay. Identifying intercostal muscles. Intercostal muscles. Okay. 1 second. Okay. Now, if you remember intercostal muscles, where it was. Okay, yeah. I told you here that on the sides, the white one you see, they are intercostal muscles, right? Now, there are two types of intercostal muscles. Okay. In this diagram, they have not shown the two types, but there are two types. One is internal intercostal muscles. Second one is external intercostal muscles. Okay. I will show you a picture for that. But for now, you need to know that there are two types of intercostal muscles. Okay. Now, last class I told you that these intercostal muscles they basically help to expand or contract the lungs, right? Now, what you need to know is muscles can only, let me show it here. Okay. Muscles can only pull on the bones. Okay. They cannot push. Okay. They don't have that ability to push. Now, for suppose the intercostal muscles they pull the lungs. When they pull the lung, what will happen to the volume? See, pulling means basically, I'm gonna erase this. Okay, they're pulling from both the sides. Okay, so the volume will increase, right? Now, when volume has to increase when we are inhaling, but when we exhale, the volume has to decrease back. But these muscles cannot do both of the things. They cannot push them back. They can only pull, right? That means there must be two set of intercostal muscle. One to pull the rib cage, uh, and another to pull it down. Okay, do you understand that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, 1 second, just a second. Mm. Yeah, one to pull the rib cage up and the other one to pull the rib cage down because they cannot push. Okay, so one set of intercostal muscle is found on the outside of the rib cage that is called external intercostal muscle, and one set is found on the inside of the rib cage that is called the internal intercostal muscle. Is that clear?
Yep, it's clear.
Okay. First, we will write these points and then we will see some pictures of the intercostal muscles. Okay. Hmm. Right. Okay. Muscles can only okay, muscles can only pull on the bones and not push on them. Okay. Not push on them. Okay. The second point is this means there must be two set of intercostal muscles. Okay, one to pull the rib cage up. One, two. This is a keyword. Pull. Okay, we cannot say push. One to pull the rib cage up, and the other to pull the rib cage down. Okay, now we're gonna say about the two types. I'll change the color. Okay, one set is found on the inside, inside, or you can say one set of intercostal muscles is found on the inside of the rib cage. Okay, that is called internal intercostal muscle. Internal intercostal muscle. Okay, and the other set is found on the outside. Okay, found on the outside of the rib cage. That is external intercostal muscle. Okay, clear? Any questions?
No, it's fine.
Okay, good. Now, moving on to some pictures I wanted to show. 1 second. Okay, this was one of them in Save My Exams. I will show you three of them so you get a good idea. Okay, you see the pink one right here. This is the external intercostal muscle. It's basically found on the outside of the rib cage. And this one on the inside, I mean, even that one is pink, but if you see, it's on the inner side. I will change the color. This one. Okay, you can see two layers. The inside one is the internal intercostal muscle. It's basically found on the inside of the rib cage. This yellow part you see is the rib cage. Okay, rib cage is basically bones. So the one which is inside is the internal, and the one that is outside right here, that is the external. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
fine.
Mm, there was just one more, just to give a good idea about it. Okay. This one has extra labeling. You don't have to look at that. Just look at what is internal and external. No need to go for this complicated stuff. Okay. Um, in this picture, this one. Okay, yeah. Here. This one. Okay. This one. These are the external intercostal muscles on the outside. And these ones right here inside the pink ones, or basically inside the rib cage, they are the external intercostal muscles. Okay, don't look at any other thing, just the muscles. And there is this one more. Yeah, this one is a good one, basically. No. Okay. Yep, I will do like this. Move it here. Oh no, move this right here. Okay. Again, the same thing. You see this outer one, it's made like two layers or two flaps. The outside one is the external, the inside one is the internal. So in the exam, they might give you a diagram and they might ask you to label the internal and external. So just look at where the rib cage is. The one which is inside will be the internal one, the one which is outside will be the external one. Okay, clear?
Oh, the inside one is the external?
No, inside means internal, outside
Okay.
means external. Okay,
Oh,
just
so the pink,
meaning of
pink
the
one?
term.
Okay. The
Which
pink
one?
one is internal, right?
No, see this diagram, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here you see this. It has both. See, this is a section through the rib cage. Okay. In the rib cage, we will have both internal and external. Now, see this labeling here: internal intercostal and external intercostal. Right? See where the external goes to this outside one. It will look like two flaps or two layers. Okay, the one which is the inside one is the internal. This one you see, it looks like it's on the outside, right? Or if I use
Okay.
a different color, this one, it looks like it's on the outside. So that is the external one. Okay, this one is external. Clear?
Yeah. And yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that is good. Even this diagram, this one actually it's a bit more clear compared to both of them. See this one, this is on the outside, right? This is on
Yeah.
the out, that is external. If you see the tiny one inside, that is internal. It will be hidden by the external, like if you see. Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
cool. So we done with that. Now that was about it. Next thing we need to know is function of cartilage. Okay, function. I'll try to find some past paper question if there are for labeling the internal and external. If I do, I'll send it on the group so you can check over there. Okay. Haven't looked at it yet, but I'll try. Trachea. Okay. Um. Right. Now, first thing you should know what exactly is cartilage. Now, if you see, which will be the good diagram? Yeah. Okay. This diagram you see trachea. Okay. This tube trachea. The pink, can you see the pink structures right here? Like
Uh,
ring shaped structures.
yeah. Yeah.
Those are called cartilage. They have an important function, they have a role, which I'll tell you. But first, you should know what cartilage is. You see these ring shaped pink structures, they are basically cartilage. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Mm, 1 second, let me go back. Where was okay? And also, if you just want a diagram for only cartilage, it is here. Yeah, we put it here. These they will look like a ring. This one, this one, this one. Okay, they basically like they hold around the trachea. This is the trachea, right? The whole thing. So they will hold around like a C-shaped ring. It's not a complete ring, but like it's like a half. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Now we need to know what the function of cartilage is. Just give me 1 second, please. 1 second. Yeah, okay. Just confirm it. It's like 1 second, wait a second. Yeah, it's like this. It's C shape, not the complete ring, but it surrounds the trachea. Okay. Mm, cool. Now, the ring of cartilage, it basically surrounds trachea and bronchi also. What was bronchi? Bronchi was the splitting of trachea, right? So if you see here also, when it comes to bronchi, you can see these pink structures. They are also cartilage. Okay.
Yep.
Now, the function of cartilage is to support the airways and keep them open during breathing. Okay. They basically keep that ring open when we are breathing so that carbon dioxide can go out, oxygen can come in. Okay. What would happen if they were not there? If they are not present, then these sides, okay, the walls, these sides, okay, they would basically collapse. They would collapse inward. They will become like this. When the air pressure inside, it will drop and these will collapse. So the gas exchange won't be possible. Of course, if the tube is closed, gas exchange cannot occur. So the function of cartilage is to keep the tube open. Okay, is that clear?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna write the point. If you have any question, you may. There's nothing much about it. You just have to know the function. That's it. Ring of cartilage surround the trachea and bronchi. Okay, bronchi, but not the bronchioles. Bronchioles are further splitting of bronchi, right? So not over there, just the trachea and the bronchi. Mm, okay. Function of cartilage is to support the airways and keep them open. Okay, keep them open during breathing. Okay, now what would happen if they were not present? If they are not present, the sides or basically the walls, okay, they would collapse. Like they would shrink, I can say. But shrink is not the right word. Collapse is the correct word to use. They would collapse inwards when air pressure in the tube drops. Okay, understood? Okay, that is good. Moving on to, we're done with this. So, where is it? One second. Okay, you see here. mm, we did identify the diagram and images of the internal and the external muscles, right? But I'll try to find questions and I will show you. And then it says state the function of cartilage in the trachea. So you just have to say to support the airways and keep them open during breathing, or you can say to prevent them from collapsing when the air pressure drops. If it's 2 or 3 marks, then you can write all of these points to elaborate your answer. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is the change in volume and pressure. You don't have any questions from this, right?
From which one?
From whatever we learned till now. Anything you want to ask?
Not really. Not at the moment. No.
Okay, that is good. Volume and pressure changes during breathing. Now, this is a little confusing, but we will do one at a time. And if you have any questions, just stop me and ask, okay? It's a little confusing. I was trying to explain to Iman also, but she got confused. Anyways, mm, okay. Now, do you remember what diaphragm is?
Sorry, what did you say?
Do you remember what diaphragm is?
A diaphragm? I
I'm not asking the definition, just the structure. Do you remember?
I I think
Uh, you see this?
yeah, the one below, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this brown. Okay, that is a diaphragm.
it's
Now,
just okay. Yeah,
it's just a thin sheet of muscle. Okay, the brown one, it's just a thin sheet of muscle. And what is the purpose of having it? It separates the chest cavity. You see, this top one is our chest cavity. Oh no. The top one is the chest cavity, and the down one is the abdomen, right? So the purpose of this diaphragm is to separate this chest cavity and the abdomen. Okay?
yep.
Okay. Now we will write this first. First, we need to know what diaphragm is, then only we can understand the changes. Mm, okay. First things first, diaphragm is a thin sheet of muscle. Thin sheet of muscle that separates the chest cavity. Okay. Or you could say thorax. If you remember what thorax is, I told you. You could also say thorax. It's the same thing. Okay. From the abdomen. Okay. Now, it is ultimately responsible for controlling the ventilation of the lungs. Now, I will tell you what ventilation is, but I will just write this point. Okay. Basically, like ventilation means like controlling the air. When we breathe in, the diaphragm contracts. When we breathe out, the diaphragm relaxes. So it basically helps in expansion, contraction, increasing the volume, increasing the pressure, decreasing the pressure. So it's basically helping in controlling the ventilation of the lungs. But we will see how it does that. Just let me write this. Mm, no, no. Ultimately responsible for controlling the ventilation. We will come back to this point. Okay, controlling ventilation. Okay, now when diaphragm contracts, it flattens. If I show you from this diagram itself, right now it is in its relaxed state. Okay, it has two states. One is relaxed state, other one is contracted state. Okay, right now it's in a dome shape. Right, when it is in the dome shape, it is relaxed. Okay, when it contracts, it becomes straight, it will flatten. Okay, that is its contracted state. Do you understand this difference?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
Is it
dome shape, relax or contract?
Sorry?
When it is in the dome shape, is it relaxed or contracted?
It's relaxed.
Okay. And when it is contracted, it is?
Flat, like flat shape.
Yes. Okay. So we do understand that. Now we can go to the next part.
Hmm.
Now, when diaphragm, okay, let us keep that diagram here. It will help us in the explanation. Do I still have it? Do I still have? Yes, I do. Okay. First, we're gonna look from here and then I'll write the points. Okay. See, when the diaphragm it contracts. Okay. I'm talking about the contracted state when it's flat. Now, when diaphragm contracts, it flattens. This increases the volume of the chest cavity. See, when this will contract, okay, ignore the brown line. Okay, when this is contracted, the lungs can basically expand themselves, right? So, when they expand, the volume will increase. Do you understand that?
Does that happen when we breathe in?
Yes, that is correct. When we breathe in, the diaphragm contracts, it flattens, so our lungs can expand and the volume will increase. Okay.
Yeah, I
Now,
understand.
when volume increases, consequently, this you would have learned in physics if you are a physics student, volume is increasing, pressure will decrease. Okay.
Yeah,
So volume increases, consequently, this leads to the decrease in the air pressure inside the lungs compared to the outside atmosphere. Okay, when that happens, the air comes into our body. Basically, we're talking about inhalation. Okay, understood the first part?
yep, fine.
Okay, now going to the next one. What happens when the diaphragm relaxes? When the diaphragm relaxes, it will move upward, okay, into its dome shape. So this is relaxed in its dome shape. What happens to the volume? Can you tell me? It will increase or decrease?
When it's relaxed,
Yeah.
the volume or the pressure will increase,
Yes, pressure will increase, volume will decrease because the
decrease.
lungs will get contracted. There won't be much space. So the volume will decrease and the pressure will increase. Right. So the pressure inside the lungs increases relative to the outside atmosphere. That forces the air to go out. So we're talking about exhalation. Understood?
Yep.
Okay, that is nice. Mm, that question was basically related to this concept. So once we're done with this, we will look at that. Mm, okay. So 2 points. First one is what happens when the in exam they will basically give you the whole sequence. Okay, they will ask you what happens during inhalation. So when they say that, you have to say when we inhale, the diaphragm contracts, it flattens, the volume of the chest cavity increases, the pressure decreases, and then the air comes in. So you have to describe the whole flow of it. Okay,
Yep.
then only you get the full marks. So it's important that you learn this. Very important. When, sorry, okay, when diaphragm contracts, okay, I'm talking about its flat shape. Hmm. When diaphragm contracts, um, it flattens, okay, it flattens. What happens to the volume? There's very less space to write. It's fine. This increases the volume of the chest cavity or thorax. You could say thorax. Chest cavity and thorax is the same thing. You can use anything. Okay. Consequently, the pressure, or you could say it leads to decrease in the pressure. Okay. Um, inside the lungs relative to outside.